know what I've gotten myself into today, but I am in the new Tower 19 ladder truck for the Alabaster Fire Department. We have got Deputy Chief Pat Kahn and our Ward 4 council member, Mr. Greg Farrell. Nice to see you guys, and retired. What was your retiring position at the fire department?
Deputy Fire Chief.
I like it. So Greg is here with us, Pat, because Greg was very instrumental in getting this off the ground, so to speak.
He was very helpful in the process. So a couple of years ago, we had to decommission our other ladder truck that we had. It was in excess of 20-something years old, and we were starting to have a tremendous amount of maintenance costs associated with the truck, and so we took it out of service. And we knew at some point we were going to need to replace that piece of equipment. And with the growth of the city and all, and some of the taller buildings, the hotels and all that we've had come in, we even when it was in service, it wasn't adequate as far as lengthwise. It was only a 75-foot ladder, and it wasn't tall enough to reach the tops of some of the buildings that we had. So we knew we were going to have to get something larger than what we had before. So at that point, we kind of began the process of, letting the city administration know that, hey, we're going to need to replace this piece of equipment in the next few years. And so that's kind of where Chief Farrell stepped in and was able to help us move that process along.
So Greg, talk to me a little bit about that process because you were very instrumental in picking it out. You went to Ohio. You told me you went up in this bucket when it was snowing and 32 degrees, right?
Yes, I had the opportunity to help with the final inspection on it. The opportunity when it came to us from the chief of doing it, and I knew that the need was already there, being from the fire department and seeing the potential growth that we needed something like this, because no one really had anything like this in the area, and we needed one for ourselves. And once the process starts, it comes to us. We try and find the funding. The funding was there. That the finance chairman said, hey, it's there. We can do it, even though it was going to be an 18-month process. So that helped.
So the process to create this truck took 18 months?
Yeah, there's various meetings that go on where we go line by line and identify the specifics of this piece of equipment that we want, that will help best suit our city. And so that takes a long time to make sure that you've got all of those things right, and that you're not missing things. And sometimes you do miss things. One of the things when it came, the lettering on the side was the wrong color, and it was right on one side and wrong on the other, and that's just one of those small lines that can be missed. So it's a real in-depth process, and Captain Reed with our organization headed that process up and was instrumental in making sure that all the things were correct with that. So
with the final inspection, who all went for that? It
was Chief Reed and Zach Cruz and myself.
And you guys went up to Ohio.
Yes.
And just kind of made sure everything was exactly how you needed it to be.
Yeah, you go line by line in the specifications and checking everything on the truck.
Very detailed.
Yes, and it was one of the best ones that I've been involved with. I had the opportunity to be involved in 3 other times doing final inspections with trucks, and this was the best one with the shortest punch list.
Wonderful.
So we were real happy with the manufacturer.
That's awesome. Tell me a little bit about where this will be housed and just benefits for the community.
Okay, so this truck actually runs out of Firehouse 3. Because obviously that's where the majority of our commercial district is in the city. That's where the hotels are, the 1022, the hospital, all of those things are located in that area, so it runs out of there. Some of the benefits with this particular truck, it's obviously a 100-foot platform, so that's going to reach the tops of all of our 5-story buildings that we have here in town. If you notice, it's what they call a mid-mount. So some of the platforms that they build, not this company, but other companies build, the turntable mounts on the rear of the truck. The benefits of the mid-mount is it gets your weight and your center of gravity in the middle of the truck. It helps distribute the weight better, makes it more drivable. It actually lowers the overall height of the truck itself, which makes it easier for us to get into our apparatus bays, so we don't have to make any kind of modifications to, make the building, the door bigger so that we can get the truck in. So there's a lot of benefits to this particular piece of equipment that we identified that would be helpful for our city.
Sounds like it's going to be much more efficient for you guys, safer for our city, and I think we're going to take a trip up 100 feet.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it.
Are you ready for this?
I'm ready, Chief. Let's do it.
All right. So policy dictates typically we let the guy at the turntable, and I don't know if you look back, you can probably see him there. He will always uncradle the apparatus or take it out, the ladder out of the bed. It's just a safety precaution. He can see a little bit better, make sure that we don't hit the side of the truck with the ladder or anything like that, because obviously it can cause a tremendous amount of costly repairs if we did that.
I can imagine.
Once he gets it up, then he'll turn the controls over and we'll actually be able to operate it from here. And you can see we have our extend and retract. That's what takes the ladder out and in. We've got the rotation, which is our left and right rotation, and then we've got the raise and lower, which is actually we're raising right now. And so it's real simple, just 3 controls, and we've got a switch down here that you put your foot on that puts the truck in high idle, kind of helps it move a little quicker with some of those movements. But we're getting up pretty good, see, and it's not too bad. It's nice and quiet up here.
About how high do you think we are right now?
Oh, we're not very high right now, maybe.
Really, Chief? Are you sure?
We're maybe 40 or 50 feet up right now. So.
Okay. And do we have the
And
control?
Chief, you're at a 25 degree. You got obstacle at your 5 o'clock and at your 7 o'clock.
Okay, read that. All right, so all we're going to do.
Now we're going to take it.
Yep, we're going to take it and we're just going to go nice and easy.
Yes, sir.
So the controls are really smooth. And in fact, they're even designed in a way that we let loose. So that's a switch in case something were to happen to me. If you see this little switch on the back,
okay.
and I turn loose, it'll automatically stop the ladder from going up or whatever movement I was doing. So that if we were to become injured in some way, it would keep the truck from moving on into the side of the building or whatever. So as soon as I let that go, it stops. What you're feeling there, it has an automatic leveling on the bucket. So as we go up, it all. So you were feeling it kind of move around a little after it stopped. That's what that was.
Okay.
So.
All right, Greg. Scale of 1 to 10. Are we happy with the truck?
A 10, definitely.
A 10. I agree. This is really, really cool.
I would mention that one thing to note about this piece of equipment, typically we'll buy an apparatus and we know that we're going to get at least 10 years of frontline service, and then we hope to get up to 15 years worth of reserve status, So a total of 15, to sometimes on up to 20 years. When we buy a piece of equipment like this, obviously it's much more expensive than our other apparatus, and this would be considered a 25 to 30-year investment for the city. So, you break that down over the years, and obviously we get a whole lot more bang for our buck. Because you see that initial price tag and you think, wow, that's a lot of money for a truck.
Sure.
But you got to realize this thing's going to be around, as long as the lives of some of these people here who are working here, their career.
Right.
It'll be here from the time they start to the time that they leave.
So it truly is an investment
really
in the city and the citizens.
Sure, it absolutely is.
Cool. All right. Are we heading down?
All right, we're going to go down.
So how far do we go down and then they take over?
We'll get down to somewhere in the 25-foot range or so.
Okay.
We'll get down enough so that I don't hit the side of the fire truck.
And then it's their
Yeah.
it's their fault if they hit.
Because there's nothing worse than the chief carrying something.
Right. Y'all, I'm sweating like you don't even know. But that was not as bad as I thought it was
No,
going to be.
It's not.
Like I said, it's the buildup, right?
That's right. Hey, Jason, you good?
This is really nice.
Got 10 more degrees.
All right, just let me know when you're ready for to take over.
Where is he, though?
He's over here on this side. I'll let you move.
Right, I got you.
Oh, I see him. Okay.
All right, that's good.
And now he's going to take control.
Okay, you got it.
All right, that was not bad at all. I was very nervous. It was beautiful up there. Obviously, 100 feet is very high, so I can see the benefit of having this for those really tall buildings.
Sure.
Being at Station 3, where you're near those tall buildings, such a benefit for you guys. I know. I love talking about the training that you guys received for this, and we just really want to thank the city and the city council for helping this go through, right?
Right. Thank previous Mayor Hanlon. She was all on board for it, and the rest of the council members. Council member Betzel, that's now our state representative, was instrumental in as well. But mainly the whole council coming together and making this happen.
Absolutely. We thank you guys so much. We thank you guys for your service so much to our citizens, keeping us safe. It's not an easy job, guys. I'm here to tell you right now.